Hello everyone, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Sorry I've been away for a while, but here we are now, we're back. It is Wednesday the 25th of June 2025, and it's World War I Wednesday again, and this is week 46, or program 46. So where did we get to last time? We got a lot of this rigging done, we got a lot of these parts rigged up. Remember we did this base panel here, and then we found that these ejector pin marks on the inside of these panels were clearly visible inside the cockpit, so I've sanded them out, filled them, and now I've resprayed them, and I've tried to sort of do a bit of a, you can see there's a bit of a pre-shading effect on there as well, just to make it look more interesting. So looking in the instructions, we've got to go on and get all this stuff fitted. If you've been watching this, you'll know that these instructions are a bit kind of all over the place. So we're down here now. I'm not worried about this at the moment, but we're down here now. We're going to concentrate on this. So we've got the actual, this panel here that I just showed you. We've got this aluminium panel here going on the side. We've got the air intake there going in the side, which is here, and they are painted with the A-stand polished aluminium, and then given a coat of Alclad. What's it called? I can't think of the bloody name of it. What's it called? Aquagloss, that's the one. Aquagloss there. A-stand actually do Aquagloss now. It's not called Alclad anymore, but it's exactly the same product apparently. So so there we go. So that's all going together. And then when we come over the page here, we've got all this, whoopsie days, I'm going to break this, I know I am. We've got all this work under here going on, and that's all done. I've got those there ready, they're rigged up, and I've also glued this L9 in here into the bottom axle area there. So we're sort of ready to get some rigging done, and then I think we'll call that a day for this one. And then next week I'll get these, I think this is a fuel pump or something, get this all done, we get this aluminium tape cut out and get those pipes put in, and then pretty much the fuselage is then finished, and then we can start thinking about putting the wings on, and then once we've done that, it's engine. So so basically I'm going to go back to here. Okay, so this is all done, so that's all, that can all be forgotten about. So we're going to concentrate on this area down here. So we're going to move that bulkhead out of the way. So these panels here on the side fit very nicely. We've got to make sure we don't trap any of this. We've got this line here is going to go down over the side, and then we've got this line here. Just get that away. So this panel is literally going to fit into 4 holes, just like so, and it is a lovely fit. You can see it fits with the wood down here beautifully. It's fitting up there beautifully as well. And I've just noticed I've left a finger mark on there, so I'm going to go and wash my hands again. And you can see I've got super glue. I was wiping the end of the super glue off with the tissue, and got it stuck to my finger. So there we go. Right, so I'm going to go and wash my hands again. I'll be straight back. Okay, so I've test fitted the part as you just saw. I've got a little drop of super glue here, so I'm just going to put a tiny little drop of super glue in each point. I'm not a fan of using super glue to build models, but I don't want to start ruining my wood effects with extra thin. So we can just line that up on the bottom there, just like that. That's it, that's that one in place. As you can see, when you look down inside, those ejector pin marks would have been extremely visible. Okay, so that's that done. And I'm just going to test fit this one and make sure these lines are out of the way. What's going on here then? There we go. Just test fit this one, make sure it fits okay, and no reason why it won't. It's Hasegawa after all, they're one of the best manufacturers on the planet. And as I mentioned before, I believe this kit is about to be re-released. So if you want to get one, you'll be able to get one for a reasonable price again, because I'm told they've been fetching silly money. Okay, so we'll line those up in there. Line those up in there, there we go. there we are. That's that all done. All fitting beautifully. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, so now we can get these control cables out of the way again. Right, what's next? Right, so now we've got to fit these side panels here. Now I have just test fitted this, and it's rather awkward to get on because it's got to slide over this square tube here, which means it has to sort of slide up into position. There we go, it's gone straight on now. That's the opposite of what normally happens. Normally when the camera's on, you can't get anything to go. You can't go right, can you? So that's going to go on like that. So what I'm going to do here is put a drop super glue in there, a drop in there, and a drop in there. And then fit this panel up into place. It just drops straight on, look at that. Perfect fit, absolutely perfect fit. There we go. And in case you're wondering, I've been away from here because I've been and bought a Fiat 131, and then as soon as I got it, it developed an oil leak. So went to investigate, found the oil leak was actually the head. I thought it was a seal. It was the head gasket leaking on the front, which is, it must be fairly common because it's the second time I've had it on one of those engines, on a Fiat twin cam. Took the head off, found I had bent valves. Then I went to take the valves out and I found I had a bent spring. So it's now turned into a full engine build. So I've started another channel. If I think of it, I'll put a link down in the description below. It's called Nigel's Fiat 131s, I think, something like that. And I've just done one in sort of introductory video where you can have a look at the old banger. And please go and have a look and give us a subscribe. The first sections of the video of the channel will be rebuilding the engine, showing you some standard techniques, plastic gauge, and rebuilding an engine. Really, all sort of obvious stuff to me, but to some people out there who might want to have a go, there'll be lots of little hints and tips for you in there, and it'll follow to any engine on the planet because most engines are the same. Anyway, they've all got big ends, they've all got main bearings, that sort of thing. So anyway, right, let's test fit this one. See how this one goes on. Yep, fits like a dream, or fits like a glove, should I say. Can I even get it off? There we go, yes I can. Okay, so we'll put a drop of the magic stuff in that hole. So if you notice, I've got a piece of stretch sprue. What I'll do is put in the glue into the hole rather than on the edge. That way the pin contacts, you don't need much. We're not worried about the finish on the inside of these because they're not going to be seen. So I'll just go up like that. I've just heard Dottie chewing something. I'm going to see what it is she's got. Hang on. Unbelievably, it's one of her toys. Normally it's a piece of my footwear. Anyway, and she's getting on great, by the way. She'll soon be 10 months old. And she's doing really well. Right, so you notice when I put these on, I had to make sure these strings were kept clear. Now these strings here, when you look in the instructions, you can see when you go over the page, you can see they go through those L9s. And we've got to tie them off. Okay, it's actually here we're tying them off, not there. Oh, it is there. No, it's there. That's the bottom. So it's there we're tying them off. So I've got to try and get those to go through now. And I'm not sure that's going to be very easy. Just grab this by its end. Yeah, maybe what I should have done is threaded them through before I fitted the panel, because that is slightly obscured. I wonder if I can go in from underneath. That's a shame. If I could break this away. Yeah, so far so good. We'll hold this panel down here. Yes! Success! So what we'll do, take this out here, we'll thread this through, grab the end of it square, so that's why I've been away from the modelling bench, because I've been working on this bloody engine so much. And you might be thinking, well, why are you doing it all? Because I want to, the car is all registered now and everything, all road legal for the UK, and I want to enjoy it before I strip it. So I'm determined to get the engine done so that I can drive it round. I'm not going to be taking it to Scotland, but I might take it shopping a few times. And then once the weather closes in, it can be put away and stripped. Now we can pull that through, get that out of that groove. Come on, get out. Oh, God's sake. Not thinking much of this design, it's not very clever at all. Okay, so that string just literally goes around the back of there from what I can see. Just holds that down. So we'll leave that like that. So I've got to try and get this side to come away. Yep. We'll hold this side panel. I don't think this one's going to play ball. Oh, what a pain. I wish these instructions were better. The instructions on this model are bloody awful. You know, like way back we were fitting wings, and here they are showing it without wings on. I don't really know what they're thinking of. There we go, we got it. Oh, I can't get the top one. Or can we? Yes, we can. Yay! Right, where's that string? Come here. If you can hear Dottie, if you hear a funny noise in the background, that's Dottie chewing. She's chewing her pig. Right, that's that then. Pull that back out of the way. Refit this side cover, like so. Pull the string down. Get out of that bloody groove. Right. There we go. So now I've got to tie that off and glue it. And what I'm going to do here, because that string's going to hold it in at the back, I'm just going to put a drop of cement into there, because that's going to be covered up with the cowling anyway. I called it cement, sorry, it's not, it's super glue. Okay, so the string will hold the back in. That's that. Alright, so I'm going to get these tied off, glued, and then I'll be straight back. So there we go. It is really starting to take shape, isn't it? It's looking lovely. I still haven't touched that bit of green paint there. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. All that lovely detail's covered up, but we can see down in the cockpit, it's all looking very nice indeed. But we can hardly get in there to reach the control column to do anything. I guess we'll have to use tweezers to operate our elevators. What a great little model this is. Thank you, Charlie. Right. Now, you can see on here is that sensibly, that's one good thing in the instructions, they've given us the 1, 2, 3 bit. Now, the L4 pipes here, which I've done, as I showed you just now, these are done in the polished aluminium. I've only coated these with aqua gloss this morning, so I'm not going to put those on now because I'll probably leave finger marks in them. So they're going to basically be a simple glue in onto the side there, so that's going to be easy enough. Right, so coming over the page, we can see here that we have 1, 2, 3. Now they're telling us to do this, to do these after, But I think it would be a lot easier to put those in first and then thread the strings through, because when this panel goes down, it's going to, those slots are going to expose these holes here, but they're quite deep down in, so getting those to glue in nicely. So I think it'd be easier. I've got them here with the strings on, so I think it'd be easier to glue them in now and then thread the strings through that panel as we glue it down. So that's what I'm going to do, because I've also checked to see, and what happens is the knot, that's why I'm not worrying about painting these gloss black, the knot is actually buried. You'll see in a minute. So what I'm going to do is, with a drop of extra thin quick setting, I'm going to put that in that hole, because I want a nice strong weld with these parts. So my tweezer's gone. And we'll get that into there, like so. Oh dear, it's popped straight back out again. It's quite warm today. I think that quick setting is dried already. Yeah, that's why it's popping out, because there's no gluing action for it. I've got nothing on the brush. Come on. All that fuss just to glue in one part. Okay, so make sure that's upright. That's all good. And then we'll get the other one. I'll come here. And we'll put that into place in there. A good drop of cement on there, and then that can go in. Is that a delivery for me? I've got parts for that engine coming from everywhere. Parts from Turkey, UK, Italy. Yep, it was something for me. So there we go. I'm just going to go and check what that is before Dottie gets hold of it. Back in a bit. Oh, well, that was another set of armour plates for my Fiat 131. So now they've sent me 3 sets. I wonder if I'll get another set tomorrow. They initially sent me the black and silver ones, you know, the pressed aluminium plates, which aren't legal on a car after 1980, I believe. So anyway, right, so we'll screw this panel in. Screw this panel in? We'll glue this panel in. There's not a part work knife or a pocket kit. So this panel here is going to go in like that, so we're going to check the fit. And yes, it fits beautifully. You almost don't need glue on these parts. I say almost. You know, you don't want it all falling apart while you're building it, do you? So there we go. So that's the glue on those pins. Why did I glue the pins? I don't know. I just did. There we go. That's gone in position beautifully. And when you look at the model, you can't see that panel at all. So there's I've got rid of the ejector pin marks in that one. There's no need. You don't need to. Okay, so that's gone in like that. All right. Now this panel here, it's got 4 pins on it. It's just going to go into 4 holes. So those little bits there are just going to go into guides in the sides of the floor. So we've got the 2 pins there. So what I'll probably do is drop this in, and then I'll put a drop of super glue in here or something where it touches. We'll make sure these are out of the way. So we're going to thread these through here. So we've got this one here is that side. Okay. So that one's going to come through there, like that. And then this one, no, not that one, this one is going to come through there like that. Just like so. I'll just drop this down on. then pull them through, just like that. Okay, as you can see, once again, that is an amazing fit in there. So it's touching, so it's sitting on that panel and it's just touching here at the front. You can see in these front corners it's just touching. So I think what we'll do is a drop of super glue on those pins at the front, or the areas where those pins are. So get onto the side here and just lift it off. Put it down, make sure we don't, I'm going to have to get some more super glue. Make sure we don't pull those strings back through. Okay, so a drop of super glue in there and a drop in there, and then a drop. There's little locations, I don't know if you can see them, there's tiny little location flanges. So put this down on the bench, pull that one through there, pull that one through there, pull that one through. We don't want the glue to, we don't want the string to dangle onto the glue, you see. Okay, so that's gone in there. Pull these strings through. Yep, they've come through on their own. And then give this front a little squeeze and hold it. We're just going to hold that in position while the glue dries. Back in a bit. Okay, so that's been glued on, and I've done this string here. I didn't want to put you through the torture of watching me do that. But, basically that one's done now. I haven't put too much tension on it because I don't want to constantly be pulling, but it's on there. It's kind of straight. Right. So the next part where we were working is to fit this firewall to the front. Okay, and as you can see, it's got the shaft in it already. So I'm going back to here, back to step 3, and we've got this main centre shaft for the engine, and that's going to go into there, and then we've got this part here, G37, is going to go in the side of it there. Okay, so that's going in like that. So what I'm going to do is put a drop of super glue down in that slot. I'm not going to use extra thin because it might capillary into the bore if it gets up on the side. So I just want to make sure I've got glue in there enough to hold that in. I don't want it falling out and then the spindle falling back into the aircraft. Okay, so that's glued in there like that. As you can see, I've left it on the sprue. And then I can come along with some Tamiya cutters and just cut the sprue off like that. And then I will grab a sanding stick and sand away the gate. Now that's free to spin and it's not going to fall out, so we can fit that to our engine now without any worries. Right, to our engine, to our fuselage. So we'll go back to where we were with these all over the place instructions. I hope I don't come up stuck here. We're changing this build sequence. You can imagine trying to do all this with the wings on. There would be an absolute joke. So we've got, you see here they're showing the wings on now. So there's no wings on there, and then we've got wings on. So are they maybe suggesting we should do the wings before this? Let me have a quick look, hang on. Alright, I see no reason why we can't go on and do this now before we put the wings on, and then we can get this rigging done around the undercarriage. I don't really need to fit these at the moment. We're going to do those next, in the next video, because I've got to get some detail painting done on these. And then we've got the aluminium wire, or the aluminium tape and the wire going up. Got got a little connector on there as well, as you can see. You can see it's got to be taped in there. So I think there's something for the other side as well. We also got to add some rubber. I think I'll put the wheels on before the wings as well, because it's going to become a very unwieldy, very fragile beast once those wings are on. So I want to get this bulkhead glued on. So I'm going to get some more. Once again, I'm going to be using super glue, guys. I know it's against my religion, shall we say. So what we've got here is 4 holes and 4 pins. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put glue on the pins, and that way it will go onto the front face as well. Now this glue has an effect of melting the paint, so I don't need to worry about scraping the paint away, because it doesn't need to be mega strong. Although the engine's going to be hanging off it, it's not mega heavy, and it's not the sort of thing you're going to be knocking around and playing with. So that's going to go in like that, and then those holes will pop in. As you can see, it all just goes together like a dream. It's absolutely beautiful fit, this model. I'm going to hold that in place because it keeps wanting to pop off. So I'm going to keep holding that, and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, so that's on now, nice and dry. So I'm going to turn this over now. I'm going to look at doing this rigging on the front undercarriage. I'll get these aileron control cables out of the way. So we've got all these cables coming out of here. We've got 5 in total. 1 is already tied up. So we'll get these untangled. And they are going to go through some holes here in the undercarriage legs. So what I'm going to do is get my little trusty 0.6 drill. I also need to do some research. That there needs to be painted. I'm just going to put my 0.6 drill through these holes, which it looks like I may have already done. Okay, and then we've got holes on the back as well. There, okay, there. Okay, I hadn't done those, so I'm glad I did do these. These drills are awful things. Don't buy them, guys. They're terrible. They've got far too steep a helix on them. They kind of screw themselves into the tungsten carbide. They just snap off as soon as you look at them. So don't buy them. Just get your ordinary drills instead. Right. They're great if you're using a machine, but for hand drilling they're useless. So, in my opinion. So we've got these cables. So V is, as we're looking at it now, V is on the left and W is on the right. So V is going to come up, across and tie off. So this one here, which is V, is going to come from the back up into this hole. Wow, that's going to be difficult to get in. It's got to come up into a hole there. It's gone straight through. Blimey, I can't believe that. So that's going to come up through there, and then over the top, down there, like so. And then it's going to go up and under, let's get it closer to the end. Sorry guys, this must be like watching paint dry, but some of you love it. Some of you absolutely love watching this. I know, because you tell me in your emails and your comments. Why can't I get that through there? I did draw that out, didn't I? Sure, I drawed those out. Just check the other one. There we are. Why do I bite my nails? If I had fingernails, I think this would be a lot easier. Yay, we got there at last. Now I wonder what have I done here? I picked up the wrong one. Ugh. What a nerd. I wonder why they told us to make these so long, 25 centimetres. Have I got this right? Yeah, it's strange how so much extra length. When you look at the elevator controls, there was only sort of 3 or 4 centimetres left over. On here with this one, this is big. There we go. Right. Yay, at last. We've got all this spare. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna turn the camera off and just check I'm not doing something wrong, because it doesn't seem right. Hang on. It was correct looking at it. That's how they go, and it's you to tie them off there. So there we are. So they're done now, both sides. That's those cross braces in there into the undercarriage, as you can see. So now we've got these other two here. We've got U1 and U2, okay, which are actually one and the same. They're the same length, the same piece. So these, again, they've told you to cut them to 30 centimetres. It's like they've gone mad from where they were at the beginning. As I say, if you are building one of these, when it comes to putting the control lines from the front to the rear, add another 5 centimetres to every one of them, because some of the elevator ones are right on the edge. So we've got these U1 and U2s. So they're telling us to thread those through the lower holes and leave them through. So are they crossing over? Yes, they are. So these are crossing over also. So these are coming, this one is coming through this hole at the back, like so. If I can get it in there. Pull that up over there. As I say, this is one length, so if I pull it, you can see that I can sort of pull it from side to side, so we just make sure we don't pull it too tight and tie it off, otherwise we might mess up. And then this side is going to go in through there. There we are, like that. Oops. So that's going like that, that's going like that. So what we've got to do here is tie this one off. U1 and U2, it kind of looks on here like there should be something else there to tie that to, but there is nothing. So I'm assuming it's got to go through the same hole. I'm wondering if it will. I don't think it will. But I may have to open the hole up a bit if that's the case. Let's see if it will go in there. Thank you, by the way, for all your comments about fingernails and stuff. But, yeah, you can get 2 in. There we go. That's gone through. Right, so that's like that. So all we need to do... Yeah, a lot of your comments about fingernails and stuff, you would not believe. I mean, just going to speak to Moss6510, he gets comments all the time apparently about his fingernails, and I used to a lot more than I do now, but I just knew that if I came on in with oily fingernails, oh no, dirty fingernails, da 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 da. So thank you for all your kind comments. Most of you have basically said that you couldn't give 2 hoots what my fingernails look like. It's the modelling you want to see. So thank you very much for that. It's nice to know you enjoy the content. And if you don't enjoy the content, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so that one's tied off there. I don't want to risk putting any glue on there because what I'm going to do is wrap this one round. They've given us so much extra thread. Right, I'm going to wrap that round there. Pull these together like that. Try and hold it. That's worked out great. You can see this whole aircraft was held together with these wires. Get it nice and close. Cut that one off. There we go. That's that one in. Done. Right. So what's next? Okay, so it's telling us here to wrap this rubber thread around twice. So here's our, it's not really rubber thread, it's elasticated thread. So what we're going to do, I guess I'm going to knot it off at the bottom, am I? So it's going to go, this is going to be really difficult. I'll have to do it backwards. It's going to go through there. It's going to go over there, around there, like that. God, dear, this is difficult. And then through there. Oh, it's got to go over the top, not underneath. Right, okay, so, right. Yeah, so that's right. So it's over there like that, over there like that. And then through there. And then back round here. The second time. Where are you going to tie it off? That's the trouble. If we just tie it off with a drop of super glue, perhaps. I'm not sure how good it's going to look, to be honest. It looks like a piece of a nylon thread, doesn't it? It doesn't look very good at all. Waste not, want not, eh? We can have a look at this. Hang on a second, I'll be back. Okay, I've done one. As you can see, I haven't cut the ends off yet. Now I'm going to see if I can make this work without swearing, because I've just actually used every single swear word out of the book, I think, to do this. So I'm going to come round the front, up over the top. And then come round here. Alright, and then make sure these, oh bloody hell. Make sure these stay in the right place. What I'm doing is leaving them, you can see I've left them below where they're supposed to go. And then make sure that on this side that the shorter piece goes under. Oh, this is what I mean. Make sure the shorter piece goes underneath the longer piece. Alright, and what I'm going to do then is put a bulldog clamp on here. Keep the tension. Push that up there, make sure it's all there nicely. Okay. And I can put a tiny drop of super glue onto here just to glue the thread. I don't want to glue it to the model. Okay, and if you notice I've got those on the wrong side purposely. Okay, now that's that thread is now stuck together, and then I can get my little lovely little niece tweezers underneath and flip that over there like so, and do the same on the back. Flip that over there. Go on, get over. You can see these two here are glued together. I don't know how long it's going to last. May as well take that bulldog clamp off now. Get that up over as well. There we go. So there you can see that just needs to be cut off. So I'm going to cut that there. We've got lots of spares, so if we do mess up, we can replace it. If it does come off, I don't think it's the end of the world, because I don't think it looks that nice anyway. It actually looks like a piece of elastic rather than what was really a rubber band. I'm going to come to something else in a minute which I think is taken away from the beauty of this model. There we go. So as you can see, that's going to be hidden behind the wheels anyway, but you can see those threads are on there now, as they instructed, twice around and glued at the back. Okay, so that's that done. So we can wrap this around the card once again for safekeeping. And then stick it away in the box they provided us. There we go. Right, so that's that bit done. Now, where do my piece of tubing go? There it is. Be very careful with these anise tweezers, guys, they're very sharp. Right, so now put our bulldog clamp away. I'm going to play with these wheels. Now, you remember we've already assembled the wheels and I haven't put the tyres on yet. We've got the tyres here. Now, this is a real disappointment because I'm sure these tyres would not have been black. I'm sure tyres in this day were like a natural rubber colour, which is like a grey colour. And they also give us tyre decals. Now, I don't want to use them. They often turn yellow, they often crack up and peel off, and they really do look awful. So I'm not going to use them for that very reason. I'm just going to have plain tyres with no tyre decals on them. You all know what I mean. In the old days, with used to get the tyre decals for the Formula 1 cars, and they just start to go yellow, and then they all crack up and peel off, and it'll look horrible. So this is a museum piece. It's not weathered or anything. So basically, these wheels, we've got the tyres on them. There's poly caps inside. I'm just going to push them on like that. Put one on the other side, like so. Put one on the other side like so, he says again. And just push them on, just like that. And there's our wheels, good to go. We're starting to see the centre of gravity coming to roughly the right point now. Oh well. So there we are. Right then, guys, I'm going to call it a day there because I need to get back out in the garage. But what I'll do off camera, I'm going to go on and get the detail painting done on this piece here. I think it's a fuel pump or something. Get the detailed painting done on that. There's another one going on the other side as well, isn't there? Oh, that's a pitot tube. There's a pitot tube here. So we've got this piece here. We've got the pitot tube there. And also, when it comes to when the wings are in place, you see what I mean about these instructions being all over the place. Finished. So way back here, we put rigging in. Okay, so if you follow the instructions, way back here you've got all that rigging in there. It will be in the way of putting these wires in and stuff. Doing this bit here. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll do the rigging. We'll get that done, and then we're going to get the wings on. And you can imagine how lovely this is going to be. I also just want to check quickly how well this cowling fits. Bloody wires are a pain. So that's just going to pop on there like that. Look at that. How lovely is that? So we're starting to see what looks like a slot width camel now. Right, I will see you next week, hopefully, if not the week after. And we're going to really start getting this wrapped up now, I think. So there we are. So much for doing those rubber bands that you can't even see them. Right. See you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.